Lesson 19. Boating. "I wonder which of us had better pack the lunch basket?" said the rat. "Oh, please let me," said the mole. So, of course the rat let him. Packing the basket was not such pleasant work as unpacking it, but the mole wanted to enjoy everything. Just when he had got the basket packed and strapped up tightly, he saw a plate lying on the grass. After the job had been done again, the rat pointed out a fork that had been left out. Last of all, the mustard pot was discovered. The rat had been sitting on it. Somehow the thing got finished at last without much loss of temper. The afternoon sun was low as the rat sculled gently homeward in a dreamy mood. The mole was very full of lunch and pride and getting a bit restless. Presently, he said, "Ratty, please, I want to row now." The rat shook his head with a smile. "Not yet, my young friend. Wait till you have had a few lessons. It's not as easy as it looks." The mole was quiet for a moment or two. Then he jumped up and seized the sculls so suddenly that the rat fell backwards off his seat with his legs in the air. The mole took his place and grabbed the sculls with entire confidence. "Stop it, you silly ass!" cried the rat. "You can't do it. You'll have us over." The mole flung his sculls back and made a great dig at the water. He missed the surface. His legs flew up above his head and he found himself lying on top of the rat. Greatly alarmed, he made a grab at the side of the boat and the next moment sploosh! Over went the boat and he found himself struggling in the river. How cold the water was and how wet it felt! How his ears sang as he went down and how bright and welcome the sun looked as he rose to the surface, coughing and spluttering. The rat was laughing as he gripped the mole by the scruff of his neck. He got hold of the two sculls and shoved them under the mole's arms. Then, swimming behind, he propelled the helpless animal to shore, hauled him out and set him down on the bank, a squashy, pulpy lump of misery. The rat rubbed him down, wrung some of the wet out of him and told him to trot up and down till he was warm and dry again. The dismal mole, wet and ashamed, trotted about while the rat plunged into the water, recovered the boat, turned it over and finally dived successfully for the lunch basket and struggled to land with it. As they sat in the boat again, the mole said in a low voice, "Ratty, my generous friend, I am sorry foolish and ungrateful conduct. My heart quite fails me as I think how I might have lost that beautiful lunch basket. Will you forgive me and for my let things go on as before?" "That's all right, bless you," responded the rat cheerily. "What's a little wet to a water rat?" Adapted from The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. A. From the options given, pick out and tick the correct meaning of each word. 1. Wonder. A. To roam about. B. To think and try to decide what you should do. C. To feel very happy about something. Answer. B. To think and try to decide what you should do. 2. Seized. A. Looked. B. Sneezed. C. Grabbed. Answer. C. Looked. 3. Skulls. A. Bushes. B. Oars. C. Bones of the head. Answer. B. Oars. 4. Scruff. A. Something very dirty and untidy. B. Clean by rubbing hard. C. The back of an animal or person's neck. Answer. C. Scruff. 5. Propelled. A. Pulled hard. B. Supported. C. Pushed forward. Answer. C. Pulled hard. 6. Hauled. A. Pulled or dragged. B. Swam across. C. Cried out loud. Answer. A. Pulled or dragged. 7. Squashy. A. Like a drink made from oranges. B. Soft and easy to crush or squeeze. C. Making short, high-pitched sounds. Answer. B. Soft and easy to crush or squeeze. 8. Lump. A. to move in a heavy and clumsy way. B. Something unpleasant and bitter. C. A solid and awkward mass without a regular shape. Answer. C. A solid and awkward mass without a regular shape. 9. Misery. A. Saving and storing money. B. A wicked act or crime. C. Great suffering or discomfort of mind or body. Answer. C. Great suffering or discomfort of mind or body. 10. Wrong. A. Made a telephone call. B. Twisted and squeezed something, like clothes, to get the water out of it. C. Wore a ring on a finger. Answer. B. Twisted and squeezed something, like clothes, to get the water out of it. 11. Dismal. A. Sad, miserable and gloomy. B. To clean by destroying germs. C. A feeling of shock. Answer. A. Sad, miserable and gloomy. 12. Cheerily. A. Shouting in joy. B. Saying goodbye. C. Happily. Answer. C. Happily. B. Answer the following questions. 1. Describe how the mole packed the lunch basket. Answer. The mole wanted to pack the lunch basket because he wanted to enjoy everything. Just when he had finished packing the basket and had it tightly strapped, he found that a plate had been left out on the grass. After he did the job again, the rat pointed out that a fork had not been packed. Last of all, they discovered that the mustard pot had not been put in because the rat had been sitting on it. Somehow the packing was finished without much loss of temper. 2. What did the mole want to do? Why did the rat not want him to do it? Answer. The mole wanted to row the boat, but the rat did not want him to, for rowing a boat is not as easy as it looks, and one has to learn how to handle the sculls without overturning the boat. Since the mole had never rowed before, the rat wanted him to take a few lessons before he could be allowed to handle. What did the mole do after the rat refused to listen to him? Answer. The rat had refused to let the mole row. The mole was quiet for a little while and then he jumped up and grabbed the sculls so suddenly that the rat fell backwards off his seat with his legs in the air. The mole took his place and seized the oars with great confidence. 4. What happened when the mole made a dig at the water? Answer. The mole flung the oars back and made a great dig at the water. He missed the surface and lost his balance. His legs flew up backwards and he fell on top of the rat. He was very frightened and made a grab at the side of the boat, and the very next moment the boat turned over with a splash and he found himself struggling in the water. 5. How did the rat rescue the mole? Answer. Laughing at the sight of the mole struggling in the water, the rat caught him by the scruff of his neck. He then got hold of the two sculls and pushed them under the mole's arms to help him float. Swimming behind, he pushed the helpless mole to the shore, pulled him out of the water, and set him down on the bank. This is how he rescued the mole. 6. What did the rat do while the mole trotted about? Answer. While the mole trotted up and down the bank to get warm and dry, the rat dived into the water, recovered the boat and turned it over. He then dived in again to rescue the lunch basket, and as soon as he found it, he struggled back to the bank with it. C. Explain in your own words, what's a little wet to a water rat? Answer. The rat was a water rat. Such an animal lives in a hole near a lake or a river, and is constantly in and out of water. The rat was, therefore, not afraid of getting wet. When the mole thanked him, he dismissed what he had done by casually remarking that a little wetness did not bother him as he was used to it. D. State what kind of clause or phrase each of the underlined groups of words is. 1. When he had got the basket packed again, the mustard pot was discovered. Answer. When he had got the basket packed again, subordinate adverb clause of time. 2. The mole, who was full of lunch and pride, was getting a bit restless. Answer. Who was full of lunch and pride, subordinate adjective clause, qualifies mole. 3. The mole, wet and ashamed, trotted about on the shore. Answer. Wet and ashamed, adjective phrase, qualifies mole. 4. The rat pointed out that a fork had been left out. Answer. That, a fork had been left out, subordinate noun clause, object of the verb pointed out. 5. The rat shook his head with a smile. Answer. With a smile, adverb phrase of manner. E. Fill in the blanks with appropriate prepositions or conjunctions. 1. Mowing the lawn was not an easy task. Tom liked doing it. Answer. But. 2. As soon as the fish rose the surface, the bird dived and caught it its beak. Answer. 2. In. 3. The cyclist fell the bicycle broke his ankle. Answer. Off. And. F. Pick out a gerund, an adjective and an adjective from the following sentences. 1. Packing the basket was not a pleasant task. Answer. Packing, gerund, subject of was, object of packing basket. 2. He saw a plate lying on the grass. Answer. Lying adjective, qualifies plate. 3. Greatly alarmed, he made a grab at the side of the boat. Answer. Alarmed ed, adjective, qualifies he. G. Change the voice. 1. The mustard pot was discovered. Answer. Somebody discovered the mustard pot. 2. He propelled the helpless animal to the shore. Answer. The helpless animal was propelled to the shore by him. 3. The rat told him to trot up and down. Answer. He was told by the rat to trot up and down. H. Write down the different forms of the verbs swim and rub. Answer. Swim, swim, swims, swam, swimming, swum. Rub, rub, rubs, rubbed. Past tense, rubbing, rubbed. Past participle,